My friends, listen closely. When you are weary, when the weight of the journey presses upon you, when every part of you wants to lay down and quit, remember this: you are closer than you think. The last step is always the hardest. The moment when doubt screams the loudest, when your strength feels gone, that is the very moment before the dawn breaks. Do not mistake resistance for defeat. Resistance is the universe confirming that the door is already in front of you. You did not come this far to turn back. The desire that burns within you is not an accident. If you can see it in your mind, if you can taste it in your imagination, if you can feel the joy of it within, then it is already yours. Otherwise, you could never have conceived it. Creation begins in the unseen. The world of appearances is slow to catch up, but the invisible responds instantly to your inner conviction. When you dare to persist in the unseen, you command the seen to obey. Do not quit at the gate. Imagine standing before the treasure, but because the lock feels stiff, you throw away the key. That is what so many do. They surrender right before the door swings open. But not you. You will stand, you will press, you will persist until what is yours flows into view. The secret is not struggle, but assumption. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Close your eyes and walk in the end. Carry the joy of already being there, and life has no choice but to rearrange itself to reflect your certainty. And when obstacles rise, do not curse them, welcome them. They are proof that movement is happening, that the old is collapsing to make way for the new. Each obstacle is a signpost declaring, you are on the path. Keep going. So please, keep going. You are so close. The seed you planted is already sprouting beneath the soil. Though your eyes may not yet see it, the roots are deep, the stem is pushing upward, and soon the harvest will break through. When you are on a journey toward a dream, a vision, or a promise you've carried in your heart, there is always a point when the path feels impossibly heavy. You may notice that things seem to grow darker, resistance becomes stronger, and the temptation to quit presses harder than ever before. This is not a sign that you are failing. This is not proof that you are moving away from your goal. In truth, it is the opposite. The struggle at the end is the clearest evidence that you are standing at the very edge of breakthrough. Think of it this way. A seed lies buried in the soil, hidden from sight. It quietly pushes against the weight of the earth above it. For days, nothing seems to happen, but the moment before it pierces the surface and reaches the light, the soil resists the most. That final push is the hardest, yet if the seed gives up then, the sprout never emerges and the fruit is lost. You too are that seed. The heaviness you feel is not because your dream is impossible, but because you are pressing against the final layer that separates you from your harvest. Life often tests resolve at the door of fulfillment. It asks, do you truly want this? Will you stand when everything tells you to surrender? Those who hold firm, who choose to walk by inner vision rather than outer appearances, discover that the resistance crumbles and the promise manifests. Those who stop too soon never know how close they truly were. It is often said that the night is darkest before the dawn. This is not mere poetry. It is the law of life. Pressure intensifies before release, struggle peaks before breakthrough, and weariness comes before renewal. You must understand that resistance is not your enemy. It is the signpost that tells you the door is near. If there were nothing to resist, you would already have what you seek. But because you are birthing something new, the old must tremble, and in that trembling, discomfort arises. Welcome it as proof that movement is happening. So when your body says, I cannot go on, take one more step. When your mind says, it is too late, dare to believe it is only the beginning. When your heart whispers, I am tired, remind it that the finish line is near. Hold on when everything in you wants to let go. For the last step, though the hardest, is the step that brings you into the life you have imagined. Do not be deceived by appearances. The storm may rage, but the land of promise lies just beyond the horizon. The resistance you face is not a wall to stop you. It is the final veil to be pierced. Break through it with faith, with persistence, and with the unwavering knowledge that you were meant to arrive. You are closer than you think. The hardest moment is simply the last test before the blessing unfolds. Desire is not a random spark that flickers in your mind without meaning. It is the whisper of destiny, the echo of something that already exists, calling you toward it. If a longing lives deeply within you, it is not there to torment you or to remind you of what you cannot have. It is there because it belongs to you. Otherwise, you could not even imagine it. The mind cannot conceive what has no root in reality. Every desire is a seed of truth, proof that somewhere in the unseen realm, the thing you yearn for is already waiting. Think of how a thirst proves the existence of water. If water did not exist, thirst would have no meaning. Hunger proves the existence of food, for if no nourishment could ever be found, no creature would feel the pangs of hunger. In the same way, your longing proves that what you desire exists. You do not dream of what is impossible, you dream of what is calling you home. The dream is not created out of emptiness, but drawn from the storehouse of reality itself. This is why you must never despise your desires. They are not foolish illusions, they are directions. They point you to the path your life is meant to unfold. Too often people allow doubt to crush their longings, telling themselves, it is too much, too far, too great for me. Yet the very fact that your heart burns for it is evidence that it is not too far at all. Desire is the divine compass placed within you to guide you toward your own fulfillment. When you close your eyes and see yourself living in the end you want, that vision is not fantasy. It is the preview of your inevitable reality. You are simply asked to believe in it long enough for it to clothe itself in form. Everything you now experience was once invisible. Every invention, every work of art, every achievement was first only an idea within someone's imagination. The same is true for you. That which you hold in your inner world is not fiction. It is a future fact, pressing itself into the now. So when a desire rises within you, honor it. Do not dismiss it. Do not mock it. Embrace it as a message. This is already yours. Walk toward it. Treat your longing not as emptiness, but as evidence. Evidence that life has already granted your request. Evidence that the door is open. Evidence that what you seek is seeking you. Your only task is to align yourself with that truth. Feel as if it is already yours. Live in the awareness of its certainty. Trust the desire, for it would not live in you unless it were already alive for you. What you long for is proof of what is real. Do not doubt it. Do not turn away. Carry it, nurture it, and know that in time it must appear. Everything you see around you was once unseen. Every building, every invention, every piece of art, every achievement first lived in the realm of the invisible. Nothing appears in the outer world unless it is first conceived and sustained in the inner world. This is the law of creation. The invisible comes first. Before you can touch it, you must imagine it. Before you can walk in it, you must see it within yourself. The outer world is nothing more than a mirror, faithfully reflecting the pictures you persist in holding inside. Consider the architect. Before a single brick is laid, the structure already stands in the unseen. It exists as a clear blueprint, drawn from the mind and fixed on paper. The workers are simply carrying out what has already been completed in vision. The same is true of your life. What you desire will not appear by chance. It will appear because you dared to complete it within yourself before the world could catch up. Too often, people wait for evidence before they believe. They wait to see change before they dare to feel it. But this is backward. The seen is slow, the unseen is immediate. If you insist on waiting for outer proof, you are chaining yourself to delay. But if you claim the unseen, live in it, and persist in it, the outer world has no choice but to bend to your conviction. When you close your eyes and picture your desire fulfilled, you are planting the seed. Each repetition of that inner vision is water to the seed, nourishment to the roots. The soil may look unchanged, but beneath the surface, life is stirring. You do not dig up the seed each day to check on it. You trust that it is growing. In the same way, trust that your inner vision is germinating. What you imagine with persistence must break into form. The invisible is not weak, nor is it unreal. It is the most powerful force in existence. The unseen shapes the seen. Thoughts, feelings, assumptions, they are the architects of destiny. To dismiss the invisible is to dismiss the very substance of creation. That is why you must guard your imagination. Do not allow it to be filled with fear, doubt, or images of failure. These too will take root if you persist in them. Hold only to what you wish to experience. For what you hold within, you will surely hold without. So remember, the invisible comes first. Do not be deceived by what you see today. Appearances are temporary, but the unseen is eternal. Live in the end within yourself. Walk the halls of your future in your imagination until they become as real to you as the ground beneath your feet. Soon enough, the outer world will rise to meet the vision you refuse to release. There is a moment in every journey when the weight feels unbearable, when the door seems locked, and the silence of delay whispers that perhaps nothing will ever change. It is in this very moment that many turn back. They convince themselves that the struggle was for nothing, that the dream was too high, that the promise was never meant for them. Yet what they do not realize is that they stood at the gate. The treasure was just beyond the threshold, waiting for the final act of persistence to open it. Most people quit, not because the dream was impossible, but because they surrendered just before the door opened. The truth is this: the gate always resists. It is the test of endurance, the place where your resolve is measured. Life asks you in that moment, do you really believe? Do you truly want it? Will you continue when every appearance says to stop? Those who turn back never know how close they were to the very breakthrough they prayed for. But those who persist, who refuse to quit even when nothing seems to move, discover that the lock yields, the door swings wide, and the vision they carried within now greets them in foam. Think of the miner who digs for gold. He labors day after day, chipping away at rock. He may quit, exhausted, not realizing that only one more strike would have revealed the vein. So it is with us. We cannot see how close we are, but closeness does not depend on our eyes. It depends on our persistence. Every moment of holding on, every refusal to give up, weakens the barrier until the breakthrough must occur. Quitting at the gate is like throwing away the key when you already stand before the treasure. It is walking away from the feast when the table is set and your name is written on the seat. You have already carried your burden so far. Why would you stop when the final step is all that remains? The journey is not wasted, but it becomes fruitless if you surrender before completion. Persistence is the difference between almost and fulfilled, between nearly and complete, between longing and possession. The world does not reward the one who starts with excitement, but the one who finishes with faith. To persist is to declare that appearances will not dictate your belief, that silence will not silence you, that resistance will not remove you from your path. So if you find yourself weary, if you feel like nothing is moving, if the gate before you seems locked, do not quit. The lock is weaker than your persistence. The door is closer to opening than you think. One more act of faith, one more refusal to surrender, one more day of holding firm could be the very strike that shatters the barrier. Do not quit at the gate. Press on, stand firm, and walk through. Your promise is not behind you. It is waiting just beyond. There is a secret hidden in plain sight. What you feel now creates what you will experience later. Life does not wait until your desire is visible to respond. It mirrors the state you occupy within. When you carry the feeling of completion, when you live inwardly as though your dream is already done, you set in motion the forces that must bring it to pass. The feeling of completion brings it is not the waiting, not the longing, not the hoping that manifests, but the assumption that the desire is already fulfilled. Consider how the mind works. When you dwell on lack, when you imagine yourself still striving and struggling, you anchor yourself in the state of incompletion. Life has no choice but to echo that vibration back to you. But when you close your eyes and feel as though you already stand in the reality you long for, you step into alignment with it, you claim it as your own, and the world must rearrange itself to reflect your inner conviction. This is not about pretending or playing make-believe. It is about understanding that inner reality precedes outer reality. If you wish to be free, feel free now. If you wish to be prosperous, carry the sense of abundance now. If you wish to be loved, dwell in the joy of love now. You cannot wait for the outer world to deliver the feeling to you. You must generate it within yourself first. The outer responds to the inner, never the way around. Think of an actor who fully embodies a role. In that moment on stage, he does not simply say lines. He feels the part so deeply that the audience believes. You must do the same with your desire. Step into the role of the one who already has it. Feel the relief, the gratitude, the joy. Walk as though the promise has already been fulfilled. As you persist in this state, you will find that circumstances shift, people align, opportunities arise, and doors open. Because the world cannot deny what you already carry as truth within yourself. The law is simple. Whatever state you occupy, you will externalize. That is why longing keeps you longing, and why completion brings completion. The moment you stop waiting and begin living inwardly, in the end, you have already crossed the threshold. The rest is merely the unfolding of what is already done. So take time each day to dwell in the feeling, not once, not casually, but with consistency. Close your eyes, step into the joy of your desire fulfilled, and stay there until the feeling saturates you. Do this often enough, and it becomes natural. And when it feels natural, manifestation is inevitable. Do not ask when or how. Those are distractions. Simply feel it, done, and let life deliver the details. The harvest always comes to the one who lives as though the seed has already borne fruit. When you set your heart on a vision, when you dare to imagine a life greater than the one you see today, you will encounter obstacles. This is not because you are unworthy, nor because your dream is impossible. It is because every step into the new must shake loose the old. The resistance you face is not the universe pushing you away. It is proof that you are moving forward. Every setback is a sign of progress. Think of a butterfly struggling to break free from its cocoon. To an observer, the struggle may appear cruel or unnecessary, but that very resistance is what strengthens its wings. Without the push against the cocoon, the butterfly would never fly. In the same way, your setbacks are not barriers but training grounds. They shape you, refine you, and prepare you to carry the very thing you have imagined. Too often, when people face difficulty, they assume they have taken the wrong path. They believe the obstacle means the dream is denied. But in truth, the presence of obstacles means that movement is happening. The old structures of your life are being dismantled to make room for the new. The greater the vision, the greater the shaking required to clear the ground. Instead of seeing setbacks as signs of failure, recognize them as evidence that the process is alive within you. A seed buried in the soil does not emerge into the sunlight without first breaking through the dark, heavy earth. Each push upward may seem like a setback, as though the soil is too much to bear, yet that very resistance proves that growth is occurring. If there were no soil pressing back, the seed would not be rising at all. So it is with you. The pressure is proof of your progress. Every setback is also a call to deepen your conviction. Do you believe only when the path is smooth, or do you believe because the vision is already real within you? Setbacks separate those who only wish from those who truly know. If you persist through them, you reveal to life that you are ready, you are not shaken by appearances, you are not distracted by delay. You understand that the promise is already yours and that the obstacles are only shadows on the way to its unveiling. So when the door closes, when plans collapse, when delay seems endless, do not despair. Say to yourself, this is proof I am on the path. This is evidence of movement. This is progress disguised as resistance. Refuse to give setbacks the power to define you. Instead, let them fuel you. Every obstacle overcome is a signpost that you are advancing into the new reality you have claimed. Do not fear setbacks. Welcome them. For each one is a reminder that you are alive in the process of creation. Each one brings you closer, not farther. Remember, the struggle of today is the strength of tomorrow, and every setback is nothing more than the proof that your breakthrough is already on its way. So I say to you, hold firm. The last step may feel like the hardest, but it is the doorway to breakthrough. Your desire is not a cruel dream. It is the evidence of what already belongs to you. If you found this video, it's not an accident. There are no coincidences in the language of the divine, only alignment. Something in you called for a sign, and the answer found you through these very words. You've been fighting, holding on, trying to understand why the door hasn't opened yet, why the path seems longer than it should. But what you don't see is that everything is quietly moving in your favor, even the silence, even the waiting, even the tears. The delay is not your defeat, it's your preparation. When life pauses, heaven is busy. What looks like stillness is often strategy. The unseen world is rearranging people, circumstances, and timing so that what belongs to you can arrive perfectly. Do not let appearances fool you. The outer world is only a mirror reflecting your inner belief. If you believe that you're forgotten, the world echoes back silence. But the moment you awaken to the truth that you are favored, chosen, guided, the reflection begins to shift. You are not here by mistake. There's a reason your spirit still hopes, even after disappointment. That hope is not weakness. It's evidence that something greater is still unfolding for you. Every challenge you've faced was never to destroy you, but to refine your vision, strengthen your faith, and teach you how powerful your imagination truly is. Don't give up now. You are closer than you realize. The current might look strong, but it's only carrying you toward the right shore. Keep standing, keep believing, keep imagining yourself where you belong, not as someone waiting, but as someone who has already received. The shift begins within. The world bends to the one who knows who they are. You are not a victim of circumstances. You are the creator of change. The moment you see yourself as victorious, the world begins to reorganize to match that vision. So breathe. Your story isn't over. It's just turning toward its most beautiful chapter. If you found this video, it means heaven has already whispered, it's your time. Everything is moving in your favor, quietly, powerfully, perfectly. Don't give up. The moment you found this message, something within you was already reaching out for it. Nothing about this moment is random. Life does not operate through chaos. It operates through divine precision. There is an order beneath the surface of every event, every delay, every encounter. And that order is always working in your favor, even when your human mind cannot yet trace its pattern. You did not stumble upon this by accident. You were guided here. The same unseen intelligence that keeps the stars in place has orchestrated this moment to remind you that you are not forgotten, that your story is still unfolding, and that divine timing never fails. You see, when something is meant for you, no force in the world can keep it away. But that same truth means that when something is not aligned with your season of growth, no effort, no striving, and no amount of worry can make it arrive sooner. Life unfolds in seasons, and timing is the invisible bridge that connects what is unseen to what is about to be revealed. Every answered prayer, every closed door, every unexpected delay has meaning. The delay is never punishment, it's protection. The redirection is never rejection. It's preparation. You are being positioned, refined, and strengthened for something far greater than what you can currently comprehend. Divine timing teaches you patience, but it also teaches you trust. It stretches you to surrender the illusion of control, to stop forcing what isn't ready, and to rest in the knowing that what is truly yours will find its way to you. It's not about waiting in despair, but waiting with expectation. When you align with divine timing, you stop chasing and start attracting. You understand that life doesn't need your panic, it needs your peace. The right things come easily when you are ready internally, not when you are desperate externally. And readiness isn't about perfection, it's about faith. It's believing that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, even when you can't yet see the proof. The reason this message appeared now, not a week earlier or a month later, is because your spirit is ready to hear it. There is a shift taking place in your awareness. You are being reminded to stop fighting against time and start flowing with it. The universe has not forgotten your name. The path may look delayed, but it is unfolding with perfect rhythm. What's coming has already been written. Your only task is to stay aligned in faith and gratitude. Each moment of stillness is a sacred setup for the moment of movement that's on its way. So take this as confirmation. You are exactly where you need to be. The waiting has purpose. The silence has meaning. Divine timing is never accidental. Everything that once felt out of reach is already finding its way toward you. Trust the pace of your destiny. What you have prayed for is not lost. It's aligning with the perfect moment to arrive. Everything you experience in life is first born within you. The outer world, as solid and convincing as it appears, is merely a reflection of your inner world. Your thoughts, your assumptions, your emotional patterns, and your dominant beliefs. Life is not happening to you, it is responding to you. The energy you hold, the stories you tell yourself, and the images you nurture in the secret chambers of your mind all gather together to shape the reality you walk through each day. When you change what you believe on the inside, the world on the outside cannot help but rearrange itself to match that new vibration. Your mind is the soil, and your beliefs are the seeds. Whatever you plant there, whether consciously or unconsciously, will grow and bear fruit in your reality. If you sow seeds of fear, limitation, and doubt, you'll see those very patterns reflected back in your experiences. But if you begin to plant faith, confidence, and the assurance that life is for you, not against you, everything begins to shift. People respond differently. Doors that were once closed begin to open, and opportunities start appearing in places you never expected. The world bends to the belief you hold most firmly. Most people try to change their outer world without changing the inner one. They chase after better circumstances, relationships, and opportunities while still holding on to old assumptions of lack, unworthiness, or fear. But it doesn't work that way. You cannot experience abundance while internally expecting disappointment. You cannot live in peace while your inner world is filled with conflict. The world simply mirrors what you believe to be true about yourself and your life. Real transformation begins when you turn inward, when you stop trying to fix what you see and start healing what you feel. When you choose to shift your inner dialogue, your energy transforms. When you begin to see yourself as loved, capable, and worthy of all good things, life starts to reflect that recognition. This is not wishful thinking, it's alignment. The universe matches your state of consciousness. As you rise in belief, your environment rises with you. What once looked impossible begins to unfold with grace. What once felt distant begins to draw near. The moment you understand that your thoughts are not random but creative, you begin to use them deliberately. You stop entertaining thoughts that contradict your desired reality. You start to dwell on what you want instead of what you fear. Over time, this inner shift builds momentum and reality bends to the new story you're telling. It's not magic, it's law. So if your current world doesn't reflect your highest vision, go within. Don't fight the outer picture. Rewrite the inner script. You are the author, not the audience. The moment you believe that everything is working in your favor, life begins to echo that truth. Change your inner world, and the outer world will follow like a shadow, faithfully and inevitably. There are seasons in life when everything seems to stand still. You pray, you hope, you act, yet nothing appears to move. The silence can feel heavy, the waiting unbearable, but what you must understand is that a delay is never a denial. The pause between your desire and its fulfillment is not punishment. It is divine preparation. What you perceive as stillness is often the most sacred part of your journey, where the unseen hand is arranging everything for your good. Behind the curtain of time, a higher order is working with precision, aligning people, opportunities, and circumstances to bring forth what you've asked for, not in any moment, but in the right moment. When you plant a seed in the ground, you don't see it growing. Beneath the soil, it's breaking open, taking root, and forming the foundation that will eventually support its full bloom. The same happens in your life. While you can't see the progress with your physical eyes, something profound is happening beneath the surface. Your faith, patience, and resilience are being strengthened. You are being shaped into the version of yourself who can carry the blessing you're asking for. Sometimes the delay exists because the blessing is ready, but you are not. Or you are ready, but the environment isn't yet aligned. Divine timing ensures that both meet perfectly. In the delay, you learn to trust what you cannot see. You learn that your timeline and God's timing are not the same, and that His timing is always wiser. If everything came when you wanted it, you might settle for less than what was intended for you. The delay filters out what doesn't belong in your destiny. It protects you from premature arrivals and immature choices. It matures your faith so that when the blessing arrives, you won't lose it through fear or doubt. It's easy to misinterpret silence as abandonment, but silence is often the space where miracles are born. The waiting room of life is not empty, it's full of divine activity. The unseen hand is weaving together details you don't yet understand, connecting threads that will make sense only in hindsight. Every unanswered prayer is either being restructured into something better or reserved for a more perfect time. So when you feel forgotten, remind yourself, nothing is being withheld, everything is being arranged. You have not been denied, you are being prepared. You're being refined in patience, strengthened in faith, and positioned in purpose. When the time comes, it will happen suddenly, beautifully, and effortlessly. The doors that seemed locked will swing open, and what once felt delayed will arrive as though it was always meant to. Trust the pause. Trust the unseen hand working for you. The waiting is not a void, it's a divine workshop. Delay is not denial, it's destiny in disguise. Faith begins where the eyes can no longer see. It is the quiet conviction that something greater exists beyond the evidence of the senses. When you live by faith, you stop allowing appearances to dictate your belief. You understand that the visible world is temporary, always changing, always rearranging itself to reflect what is held in the invisible realm of thought and spirit. Faith is not blind. It sees deeper. It looks beyond the surface and anchors itself in the unseen truth that what you have imagined, believed, and affirmed in your heart already exists, waiting to be revealed in its appointed time. To have faith is to hold the vision steady when everything in the outer world seems to contradict it. It is to walk through uncertainty with inner certainty. It is to declare it is done while the evidence still says not yet. This kind of faith is powerful because it partners with the impossible. It invites the unseen to take shape through unwavering belief. The moment you choose to believe despite appearances, you begin to move energy, open pathways, and call into existence that which could never appear through logic or human effort alone. The visible world often tests your faith. Challenges arise, delays stretch your patience, and fear whispers that it's over. But faith doesn't crumble in darkness. It shines there. The greatest miracles are born not when everything is clear, but when everything looks lost, and yet you choose to believe anyway. That belief becomes a bridge between where you are and where you're meant to be. Every great transformation begins with someone daring to see what others cannot see, to hold on to a vision that hasn't yet manifested. Faith doesn't ignore reality, it transforms it. It doesn't deny difficulty, it transcends it. When you believe in something higher than what your eyes can confirm, you rise above the illusion of limitation. You begin to live from the inside out. Instead of waiting for proof to appear before you believe, you allow your belief to create the proof. The unseen becomes the seed of the seen. To live in faith is to live in partnership with creation itself. It's trusting that what you feel and see in your imagination is more real than the temporary circumstances surrounding you. The mind that believes in lack creates lack. The mind that believes in abundance creates abundance. Faith trains your awareness to focus not on what's missing, but on what's already promised. And as your inner world shifts, the outer world inevitably follows. So hold the vision even when it trembles. Speak the promise, even when the echo returns silent. Every contradiction is merely an invitation to deepen your trust. The moment you choose faith over fear, you align yourself with the impossible, and the impossible begins to take form. Faith is not waiting to see. Faith is seeing before it appears, and knowing beyond doubt that it will. You are not forgotten, even in your loneliest nights, when it felt like your prayers dissolved into silence and your tears fell without answer. Something higher was listening. There is a sacred awareness that holds every whisper of your heart, every hope you've ever dared to imagine. Not one moment of your pain has been wasted, and not one prayer has vanished into nothing. The universe, or the divine presence that breathes through all things, has kept record of what you thought was lost. What you've sown in tears will return to you in joy. There are seasons when it feels as though heaven is distant, as if your cries go unheard and your faith goes unnoticed. But that is only the illusion of separation. The truth is that you have never been unseen. Even when you could not feel it, the unseen world was moving on your behalf. Every delay, every disappointment, every detour was part of a hidden orchestration, not to punish you, but to protect and position you for something greater. Sometimes the silence of the divine is not rejection, it's the sound of preparation. The universe never forgets those who keep believing in the dark. You may look around and think others have gone further, that life has skipped you, that blessings have passed you by. But the truth is that your path has its own sacred timing. What's meant for you has been preserved for you. The universe does not lose track of its promises. What you thought was gone forever has only been kept safe until you are ready to receive it fully, until your heart is strong enough to hold it without fear, and your faith is deep enough to sustain it. Every tear you've cried has been watering the soil of your next season. Every time you chose to rise when you could have surrendered, you proved to yourself and to heaven that you are not broken. You are becoming. The waiting has shaped you into someone who can now receive with gratitude what once would have been taken for granted. You are not behind, you are being built. The universe remembers. It remembers the dream you buried out of disappointment. It remembers the promises you whispered when no one was watching. It remembers the love you gave freely, even when it wasn't returned. And now, it is preparing to return those investments to you, multiplied, transformed, and renewed. So lift your eyes again. You are seen. You are loved. You are not forgotten. The same force that placed the stars in the sky has kept a careful record of your journey. Nothing has been wasted. Nothing has been overlooked. What was lost is being restored. What was delayed is being delivered. The remembrance of heaven is upon you, and everything you thought was gone is finding its way back perfectly in divine time. The moment you decide to believe, everything begins to shift, not always outwardly at first, but deeply within. The true breakthrough doesn't happen when circumstances transform. It happens when your perception does. You see, belief is the birthplace of every miracle. Before anything can appear in your outer world, it must first be accepted as true in your inner world. The turning point in your life is not when the evidence shows up, but when your conviction becomes unshakable. When you believe that things have already changed, even if your eyes cannot yet confirm it, you align yourself with the reality you desire, and the universe has no choice but to respond. Belief is not mere optimism. It is spiritual certainty. It is the quiet power that says, I know this is already mine, even while the world around you appears unchanged. This kind of belief transcends conditions. It doesn't depend on visible proof or logical explanation. It is a knowing that reality begins in the unseen, that every visible result is born from an invisible cause. When you believe deeply enough, your vibration changes, your words change, your expectations change, and those inner changes start to magnetize matching experiences. Life mirrors the consciousness you carry. Many people wait for external evidence before they choose to believe. They say, I'll believe it when I see it. But the spiritual law is the opposite. You will see it when you believe it. Every great transformation, every answered prayer begins in the unseen realm of conviction. When your mind and heart are united in belief, creation begins. You start to act differently, think differently, and speak from a place of fulfillment rather than lack. That shift in energy sends a signal to the universe that says, it is done, and the universe responds accordingly. Belief also has a refining power. It teaches patience, persistence, and peace. It doesn't crumble when results take time because it knows the outcome is already settled. True belief doesn't beg, it rests. It doesn't chase, it attracts. The moment you stop asking when and start declaring now, you move from wishing to knowing. That is where the breakthrough begins, not in striving, but in surrendering to the certainty that it's already accomplished in the unseen. The world around you bends to match your conviction. If you keep believing in failure, life will confirm it. But if you stand firm in belief that you are favored, guided and destined for good, life will bend in your favor. It must, because your belief is the command that shapes reality. So whatever you are waiting for, start believing now, not tomorrow, not when it looks possible, now. Believe as if the answer has already arrived, because in truth it has. The turning point is not ahead of you, it is within you. The moment you believe, the breakthrough begins. Everything you've heard in this message leads to one truth. Your life is not random, your path is not lost, and your time has not passed. Every delay, every challenge, every silent season has been preparing you for this very moment. The universe has not forgotten you, it has been shaping you. The power to transform your world lies within your belief. When you change the way you see yourself, the world begins to change around you. So stand firm in faith, hold your vision even when everything contradicts it, and trust that divine timing is working in your favor. You are being guided, protected, and positioned for breakthroughs that are already in motion. Everything is aligning for your good, not tomorrow, but now. Believe it, receive it, live it. Thank you. Thank you for spending these moments with the Wisdom Revolution. If this message reached your heart, it's because it was meant to. Keep your faith alive, keep your spirit strong, and remember, your story is far from over. The best is unfolding right before you. Stay inspired, stay believing, and thank you for being part of this journey. Beloved, the greatest discovery you will ever make is that the power you seek is already within you. The same power that created the heavens and the earth rests quietly in your own consciousness, waiting for your command. You were not sent here to struggle, to chase, or to beg for blessings. You were sent to create. Your imagination is the sacred ground where all things are born. Every idea, every success, every moment of abundance began as a thought, a seed planted in the invisible soil of the mind. When you close your eyes and see what you desire as already yours, you awaken that divine power within. You must learn to feel it before you see it. Feel the joy, the relief, the satisfaction of already being the person you wish to become. That feeling is not make-believe. It is creation in motion. The world around you is nothing more than a mirror reflecting your inner assumptions. Change your state of being, and the mirror must change. The power of God expresses itself through assumption. Whatever you assume to be true becomes your world. Do not wait for proof. Dare to believe. The invisible must precede the visible. To walk by faith is to live in quiet certainty, even when appearances contradict you. Every time doubt whispers, "It's not working," answer with inner confidence. It is already done. You are not asking the universe to give you something. You are aligning yourself with what is already yours in divine consciousness. And remember, this power responds not to fear, but to love, not to desperation, but to faith. Gratitude is the key that opens the floodgates of manifestation. Give thanks for what you have seen in your inner vision, for that act of thanksgiving seals your desire in the realm of the real. Persist in your inner conviction. Do not measure progress by appearances. The outer world is slow to move, but the inner world shifts instantly. Stay faithful to the unseen, feel the end, live from it, and the outer world will have no choice but to mirror your inner state. So rise today in remembrance of who you are, a vessel of divine imagination, a channel of infinite power. You have been given the greatest gift of all, the ability to create your world from within. Use it with faith, use it with love, and watch the unseen become seen before your very eyes. You are the creative power of God in expression. Everything you see, every experience you live, every situation that unfolds before you is not happening to you, it is happening through you. Life is not an external force acting upon you, it is a mirror reflecting your innermost state of consciousness. The thoughts you hold, the emotions you nurture, and the assumptions you persist in are the invisible threads weaving the visible fabric of your reality. The divine power that governs the universe is not somewhere distant, hidden beyond the stars. It resides within your own awareness, the still, silent place where imagination stirs. You were created in the image of that same creative intelligence, which means that you too possess the ability to bring forth something from nothing. Every dream, every manifestation, every transformation begins with the movement of imagination. When you dare to imagine with conviction, you awaken the creative law of life that molds circumstances according to your inner picture. Most people believe life happens by chance, that success or failure depends on luck, effort, or external conditions. But the truth is far more empowering. You are not a victim of the world, you are the author of it. Your outer world is simply the shadow of your inner world. When your inner conversation changes, when your dominant thoughts shift, the world must follow. Nothing stands between you and the fulfillment of your desires except your own disbelief in who you truly are. Imagination is not mere daydreaming or fantasy. It is the workshop of creation. What you vividly imagine, emotionally accept, and persist in mentally becomes your experience. The great secret of life is that consciousness is the only reality. The state you occupy within determines what appears without. If you dwell in the feeling of abundance, love, and peace, those conditions will find their way to you, for they are drawn by the law of resonance. Likewise, if you hold on to feelings of lack, fear, or limitation, you will only see more of what confirms that belief. To awaken your creative power is to take responsibility for your inner world. It means to stop blaming circumstances and to start shaping them through inner vision. Every time you imagine yourself as already having what you desire and feel the reality of it, you plant a seed in the unseen that must eventually manifest. You do not have to force it, chase it, or beg for it. Your role is simply to assume it is already done and live in that knowing. The universe, guided by divine intelligence, rearranges itself to make your assumption visible. You are the living expression of divine imagination. The power that created galaxies flows through you, listens to your inner word, and obeys your belief. When you realize this, fear loses its grip, doubt dissolves, and limitation fades. You become the conscious creator of your destiny. The moment you claim your divine authorship and begin to imagine boldly, you step into your true identity, the creative power of God in expression. To assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled is to step into the divine art of creation itself. You do not manifest what you merely want, you manifest what you feel to be true. The universe does not respond to effort, struggle, or endless wishing. It responds to the vibration of your inner state. Feeling is the secret key that unlocks manifestation, for feeling is the language of the divine. When you live inwardly, as though your desire is already real, life must reshape itself to reflect that inner conviction. Every creation begins first in the unseen world of consciousness. When you imagine something and then feel as though it has already happened, you are impressing that reality upon the creative power within. This power does not distinguish between imagination and physical fact. It simply brings to life whatever you accept as true. If you imagine yourself successful, loved, healthy, or abundant, and persist in the emotional state that matches that reality, the outer world has no choice but to conform. Most people attempt to change their lives by force, by struggling with outer conditions, by trying to make things happen. But the secret is effortless. Live inwardly as though it were already done. You must enter the state of the wish fulfilled not as a future hope, but as a present reality. Close your eyes and feel the joy, the relief, the gratitude you would experience if your desire were already complete. Dwell in that emotion, not for a fleeting moment, but as your new inner home. The feeling itself is the creative act. Every emotion sends out a signal, and the universe mirrors that signal back through circumstances, people, and events. If you live from the feeling of lack, you will continue to encounter conditions that reinforce that sense of absence. But if you shift your feeling to fulfillment, if you dare to embody the joy of already having what you desire, you activate the law of correspondence, and your world adjusts itself accordingly. The law of correspondence, the law of congenial activity. The process is not about pretending or forcing belief. It is about inner surrender, letting go of doubt and stepping fully into the emotional certainty that your desire is now a fact. When you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you move from asking to knowing, from hoping to being. You no longer look to the outer world for confirmation. You rest in the awareness that creation is finished. The unseen reality is already complete within consciousness, and time will simply reveal what is already true. Persist in this feeling despite appearances. Outer circumstances are slow to change, but the moment you shift within, the seed of transformation is planted. Continue to water it with faith, gratitude, and inner joy, and soon it will blossom into visible form. You are not manifesting something new. You are allowing what already exists in the invisible to emerge into the visible. When you learn to live from the end, to feel your wish as fulfilled right now, you become a deliberate creator. The world bends to your assumption, because creation follows conviction, not effort. Feeling is the power, and faith is the bridge that carries it into form. The secret place is within you. It is not a location in the outer world, but a sacred space within your own consciousness where all creation begins. Every change, every breakthrough, every transformation in your life starts in this unseen realm. The outer world is nothing more than a reflection, a mirror projecting the images and emotions that you consistently entertain within yourself. When you understand this truth, you stop searching for power outside and turn inward. where the true creative process takes place. Your inner world is constantly speaking. It speaks through the silent dialogue you hold in your mind, the moods that dominate your heart, and the visions that you entertain. These inner movements are the blueprint of your future, silently shaping the events and circumstances that appear in your life. Most people underestimate the power of their inner speech and emotions, believing their thoughts are private or meaningless. Yet every inner word, every feeling, and every assumption is recorded by the creative power within and expressed in form. The world you experience is built from the conversations you have with yourself when no one is listening. If you dwell on fear, doubt, and limitation, those thoughts take root and grow into experiences that mirror them. But when your inner talk becomes one of faith, love, and expectancy, you sow seeds of divine possibility. The secret place is where destiny is written long before it is seen by the eyes. To enter this inner sanctuary, you must quiet the noise of the outer world. Close your eyes, withdraw your attention from appearances, and turn your awareness inward. Here, imagination becomes your instrument of creation. Whatever picture you hold in this secret place, infused with emotion and faith, must eventually find expression in the visible world. The unseen is always the cause. The seen is merely the effect. You cannot live in contradiction, thinking one thing inwardly and expecting another outwardly. Life does not respond to words alone, but to the vibration of your inner state. If you wish to experience peace, you must cultivate peace within. If you seek abundance, you must feel abundant even before the evidence appears. This is the divine order of creation. It moves from the invisible to the visible, from thought to form, from belief to manifestation. In this secret place, you are one with infinite intelligence. Here you commune with the divine without words. Inspiration flows, ideas arise, healing begins, and unseen help moves on your behalf. The outer world may still look unchanged, but beneath the surface, creation is already in motion. Your task is to remain faithful to the vision held within, no matter what appearances suggest. Every great change in your life begins with a shift inside you. A new conversation, a new mood, a new image held with conviction. The secret place within you is the doorway to all miracles. When you learn to dwell there with faith and persistence, the outer world will unfold to match the beauty of your inner vision. Faith is seeing beyond sight. It is the ability to look past appearances and trust the invisible power that governs all creation. To believe in what you cannot yet touch is to align yourself with divine intelligence, which is constantly working behind the scenes for your highest good. Faith is not a fragile hope or wishful thinking. It is an inner knowing, a calm assurance that what you have seen in your imagination already exists in the unseen and must eventually appear in form. True faith is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. It allows you to stand firm in your vision, even when everything around you seems to contradict it. When you walk by faith, you no longer depend on your senses to confirm truth. You live from a higher awareness, the recognition that the unseen world is more real and more powerful than the world of appearances. What the eye cannot yet see, faith already knows. Most people let outer conditions dictate their beliefs. They trust only what they can see or measure. But faith begins where sight ends. It dares to believe in the reality of an unseen promise. When you believe without evidence, you activate the creative law of life. You impress your desire upon divine consciousness, and that belief begins to organize unseen forces to bring it into expression. The moment you accept something as true within yourself, it begins to take shape in the outer world. Faith is an inner certainty that does not waver in the face of delay or difficulty. It is the quiet conviction that what you have asked for is already yours, even if it has not yet appeared. This kind of knowing transforms you. It lifts your vibration, calms your mind, and opens doors that effort alone could never unlock. The person who lives by faith walks with invisible confidence, moving as though their desire were already fulfilled. To cultivate faith, you must train your imagination to see beyond the evidence of your senses. When doubt arises, remind yourself that appearances are temporary shadows, not final truth. The unseen world is the true cause of all that is seen. Faith sees the end from the beginning and rests in the assurance that divine timing is perfect. There is no need to struggle, chase, or force results. Faith is quiet power. It knows that the universe responds to inner conviction, not to outer effort. Faith also honors the divine order. It trusts that what is meant for you cannot be lost, and what you truly accept within must become yours. To live by faith is to live in partnership with the unseen power that created you. It is to walk each day knowing that the universe is conspiring in your favor. When you hold unwavering belief in your desired reality, you invite the invisible into manifestation. Faith is not hoping something will happen. It is knowing it already has, and patiently watching as the outer world rearranges itself to reveal what has always been true in the unseen. Persistence is the bridge between desire and reality. It is the invisible force that connects what you hold in your imagination to what you experience in the physical world. Every dream, every goal, every transformation must pass through the refining fire of persistence. To persist means to remain faithful to your inner vision regardless of appearances, to continue believing in the reality of the unseen even when the outer world seems to deny it. When you first imagine a new reality, it exists only in consciousness, delicate, intangible, unseen. The physical world, being slow to move, takes time to reflect the changes within you. This is where most people falter. They plant the seed of a vision but abandon it too soon, judging by what they see rather than what they know. True manifestation requires unwavering faith and persistence. You must continue to dwell in the feeling of your wish fulfilled until it becomes second nature, until the outer world has no choice but to mirror it back to you. Persistence is not about forcing or striving. It is not the restless energy of someone trying to make things happen. It is quiet, steady conviction, the calm confidence that what you have imagined is already a fact in the unseen. It is the refusal to let temporary circumstances dictate your belief. When you persist in your inner vision, you are aligning yourself with divine law, which guarantees that the unseen must eventually become seen. Every challenge that arises is not a sign of failure, but an opportunity to strengthen your faith. The outer world may test your conviction, presenting obstacles, delays, or contradictions, but these are not to be feared. They are simply reflections of old assumptions losing their power. Your task is to remain loyal to your new state of being, to keep living and feeling from the end. The person who persists refuses to be moved by appearances, knowing that appearances are only echoes of past beliefs. Persistence is the art of spiritual discipline. It requires you to hold your attention steady on your fulfilled desire, even when everything around you tempts you to doubt. Each time you return to your vision, instead of reacting to what you see, You reinforce the reality of your inner creation. Gradually, that inner certainty begins to shape outer events, rearranging people, circumstances, and opportunities to match your assumption. The universe rewards persistence because persistence is faith in motion. It is the continual choice to believe in what is unseen. As you persist, you are telling life, I already am what I seek. And life, which always responds to conviction, reshapes itself to agree with your assumption. Never be discouraged by delay. The seed planted in consciousness must grow, even if you cannot yet see the sprout. Continue to dwell in your fulfilled vision with gratitude and certainty. The law of life is absolute. What is conceived within must appear without. The unseen must eventually become seen. Gratitude unlocks the flow of manifestation. It is the sacred acknowledgement that what you desire already exists in the unseen and is on its way to becoming visible. When you give thanks for something before it appears, you affirm your faith in divine law, that the unseen governs the seen and that what you hold in consciousness must take form. Gratitude is not merely good manners. It is a creative force that aligns your inner world with the vibration of abundance. To be grateful is to stand in divine agreement with life. It is to declare, I already have all that I need, even when your senses suggest otherwise. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to fulfillment, from waiting to receiving. It transforms your inner state, and that transformation becomes the magnet that draws physical evidence of your blessings. You do not attract what you chase, you attract what you are. When you live in gratitude, you are living as one who already possesses. And the universe must reflect that truth. Gratitude is a language understood by the divine. When you express sincere appreciation for something, whether it exists in form or only in imagination, you are signaling your readiness to receive more of it. Every thankful thought opens the flow of creation a little wider. The more you give thanks, the more you align with the current of abundance, and the easier it becomes for your desires to materialize. It is impossible to dwell in gratitude and scarcity at the same time. One cancels the other. Gratitude dissolves resistance, silences fear, and replaces doubt with joyful expectancy. True gratitude is not limited to visible blessings. It extends to unseen promises, to challenges that shape you, to moments that seem empty but are full of unseen growth. When you can look at your current circumstances and still say thank you, you demonstrate trust in divine order. You acknowledge that even delays serve a purpose, that every event is moving you closer to your fulfillment. Gratitude, then, is the bridge between faith and manifestation. It completes the circle of creation by sealing your desire in love and trust. When you enter a state of gratitude, your mind becomes still, your heart opens, and your energy expands. You stop asking, when will it come, and begin to feel it is already here. That shift in awareness changes everything. The universe mirrors that certainty by sending people, opportunities, and circumstances that match your vibration. Gratitude is magnetic. It draws to you whatever you are thankful for, whether it is love, health, wealth, or peace. Begin and end each day in thankfulness, not mechanical words, but heartfelt acknowledgement of the unseen good already moving in your life. As you do, you align with divine abundance itself. Gratitude turns imagination into reality and transforms desire into fulfillment. When you live in continual appreciation, you no longer wait for miracles. You realize you are living within one. You, everything you have ever desired is already within you, waiting to be awakened through awareness, faith, and inner conviction. You are not separate from the divine power that creates worlds. You are its expression. The moment you recognize that your imagination is sacred, that your feelings shape reality, that faith transcends sight, and that persistence and gratitude seal creation into form, you step into your true identity as the conscious creator of your life. Life is not about striving to make things happen, but about aligning with the truth that all things are already done in the unseen. When you live from that awareness, you move through the world with peace, confidence, and divine authority. You no longer chase blessings, you become the vessel through which blessings flow. So, let your inner vision be bold, your faith unwavering, your gratitude constant, and your persistence steady. Dwell each day in the awareness that the power of creation is not outside of you, it is you. The unseen will always become seen for the one who believes, feels, and remains faithful to their inner knowing.